This week on Rewind.
Everybody wants to get a good start and do well. It's very important, especially in the beginning.
There's not a horse in there that you think must have cover.
Sweet Repent wins again. As has become tradition at Saratoga for the first race of the meet, we ask for your participation in getting underway the greatest race meet in the world. A thrilling stretch run here in the Coaching Club American Oaks.
I don't know too many horses that, have run 100 bodies their first start.
That race, he was ready, and he ran as hard as he could.
Everyone's excited about one thing, and that's the horses, and that's what's really great about Saratoga.
This is HRTV Rewind, taking a look back at the racing week.
The theme will be Saratoga.
Oh, all right.
Kicks things off.
I haven't been there in 20 years, so.
All right. Well, let's start things off. Question number one.
Okay.
Name one of the nicknames for Saratoga.
I always call it the Spa.
All right.
But you can call it the Graveyard of Champions.
You get both.
Oh, okay.
2 points for both.
All right.
Well done. Wrong sound effect. Point two. Name a famous horse that lost at Saratoga.
Well, Secretariat for one. We all know that.
Absolutely.
There were others, but that's the most. Well, I know Manowar got beat there too, didn't he?
So did Gallant Fox.
Okay.
What's great, as you know, being at Saratoga is just to walk outside. You see some people dressed to the nine, ladies with beautiful hats on, other guys with their shorts on, sitting at a table drinking a beer, but everyone's excited about one thing, and that's the horses, and that's what's really great about Saratoga. We talked to about 15 trainers. They all say they're in good shape. Their horses are in good shape. The most important thing we got to do is keep the horses hydrated. We can't have them tying up on the track, jeopardizing the horse or jeopardizing the horse and the jock. So we put, a lot of ice all around the track, a lot of water, a lot of hoses. But we think that, in looking at our forecast, we have a couple private weather services. We should be in very good shape tomorrow. Probably the fans will be a little bit uncomfortable, but, it's Saratoga in the summer, and we're an outdoor sport.
Well, I think it's probably the most difficult meet in the country for sure, maybe the world. There's so many good horses from everywhere, so many well-bred horses, good owners, good trainers, good jockeys. So it's it's a very, very competitive meet. As far as expectations, I think you always have to be cautiously optimistic when you come here. A lot of our success will depend on how our 2-year-olds run. And, so far I think we've got a good group. They've started off well in, some of the earlier races at Belmont and such, but you get up here and you pick up the form, and it's a different ball game. There's a lot of good, well-bred horses here.
Saratoga's fun. It's a beautiful place, great horses, and it's just a lot of fun. It's a pleasure to train horses here. I have a lot of 2-year-olds that are getting ready to run, and it's exciting, very exciting.
Time-wise, it's only 7 weeks this year, and it combines the best of the best trainers, jockeys, and horses, of course, and everybody wants to get a good start and do well. It's very important, especially in the beginning.
Is the heat a concern for you today with the horses?
Well, it always is a concern. Luckily today, the 3 horses that we run, we've had no issues with the heat as being a problem or bleeders. So we should be okay. If you had one that was a real bad bleeder, you would hate to run on such a hot day. But, it's not as bad right now. We'll see what happens. There's a little bit of a breeze, and hopefully everything goes well for everyone because it's a tough situation.
Is there anything you'll do different with the horses because of the heat?
Well, we'll hose them down real well before we go and have a bucket of ice water over in the paddock with us to sponge them down after we saddle them, but that's about it. And we've just trained less. We saw the heat coming, so we worked several horses 2 days ago, and we're doing less with them on these real hot days.
Let's light this candle. As has become tradition at Saratoga for the first race of the meet, we ask for your participation in getting underway the greatest race meet in the world. So please join the track announcer with these words, and they're off at Saratoga. So once again, when the starting gates open, we shall in one enthusiastic, united voice start the meeting off with, and they're off at Saratoga. Good luck this year. And they're off at Saratoga. Nothing left for Vukovar after a 44 3 half mile. At the 8th pole, it's Georgie's Angel, Gypsy Robin, True Feelings, and Forced to the Nature. Down to the final 16th of a mile. It's Johnny Velasquez and Georgie's Angel. True Feelings giving chase to no avail. The Skylar Veil goes to Georgie's Angel, the winner by a length and a half.
You're always happy to get the first one, and we were very pleased with the filly's effort. The race set up kind of like we thought it might on paper, and she ran a very professional race.
She actually broke fairly well.
She broke well, but we anticipated, a little bit of speed inside of us. And the best thing is, when you have an outside post like that, it gives you some options.
They're coming into the final furlong, and Jackson Bend comes barreling through on the inside to take the lead. And Amazing Destiny battling with Escrow Kid second and third, but it'll be Jackson Bend's day today. Jackson Bend wins by 2.5 on the line. Amazing Destiny was second. And they're off at Saratoga. Into the final furlong. Fasano, Boat, Gamblin' Fever, final 16th. Fasano and Boat, Boat and Fasano, Boat and Fasano coming down to the line. And the winner of the opener at the Spa is Boat. Winlock's John Lee is 6th, into the final 16th of the mile. Poliziotto is game, but Stevens Revenge has the momentum. Stevens Revenge wins it by a length on the line. Grand Strategy second on the inside. Late run coming from Cure as they come down to the line. But Why Stop? Why Stop took them wire to wire here to win by 2. And Julian LaPeroux says go with Valiant Passion, and she is going. Opening up now by 3. 4 lengths with a furlong to go. Victoria Lynn trying to hold second, followed by Precious Soul third. Illusion of Speed is fourth. This was a good-looking return. My Miss Aurelia right alongside. Those two nip and tuck. My Miss Aurelia fights her way to a narrow lead. Delightful Magic battling every step of the way down to the line. And Stop Shopping Maria third. My Miss Aurelia prevails by a length over Delightful Magic. Pico de Nero still there. Pico de Nero holding on. Short Shrift on the outside. Coming down to the finish. And Pico de Nero pulled it off. Pure Gossip. A 3-length lead coming down to the line. Lender's Way with a late move, but it'll be too late. Not enough to get to this big prize winner. Chosen Empire in command at the top of the lane. Still in front by 4 with less than a furlong remaining now. Liberty Cap still on the chase. Running second, Kid Curry coming powerfully, while third on the inside, but a lot to do to get to Chosen Empire, who took him wire to wire here. A no doubt about it winner.
She's doing very well. I mean, she's difficult to train at times. She's tricky out there on the racetrack, but she's settled in well here at Saratoga, and she's galloped every day properly and done everything right. So she's doing very well. She's difficult in the stall. To get in the stall, she's difficult. She can kick and bite. Out on the track, she can spin away from the pony and just wants to do her own thing. But she's been really good so far up here. So we're hopeful on the day we get her there and get her saddle and get her to the gate all in one piece.
She was 10-1 in the Acorn, and so a bit of a surprise to some people. But did you anticipate that she was going to run as well as she did that day?
No, I don't think anyone could have. She ran freakishly good, and hopefully it wasn't because it was wet. I mean, she ran off the charts well, so hopefully she will run as well tomorrow, being that it's 2 turns, because that was a 1-turn mile. But she won twice at 2 turns this winter at Aqueduct. She's by Mineshaft, so the distance should not be an issue, but you never know.
A thrilling stretch run here in the Coaching Club American Oaks. Plum Pretty is fully extended by It's Tricky. A pitched battle coming down to the wire. And here's It's Tricky. It's Tricky surges past Plum Pretty to win a thriller. Royal Delta was third. And the final time was 1 minute, 49 seconds flat.
Coming up on HRTV Rewind.
Went exactly what we were hoping for, just a nice, easy first time back, 3/8, 38 and change.
Overdriven off the turn in front. And now Overdriven is asked for more here by Johnny Velasquez, and it will come driving to the 8th pole.
You're watching HRTV Rewind.
Admiral Perry finding his best stride late, too late. to get to this good-looking winner, Uncle Mo. Mo, he demolished the field. He won by 15 lengths. He won by more than that.
Went exactly what we were hoping for, just a nice, easy first time back, 3/8, 38 and change, got down 51. It went, very smoothly, and it was uneventful, but it's nice to see him back and moving well, and, first step and getting him ready to run again.
Return of Uncle Mo, his first work. What was your impression of the first work?
Perfect. Textbook. I mean, Todd wanted him to go anywhere between 37 and 39. Wanted him to do it nice and easy. Watching him just come down the stretch at Saratoga Racetrack by himself. I think there was a horse working behind him about 15 lengths. It gave me deja vu that this was his maiden win. We've been, this has been some journey with this horse. I mean, from, Breeders' Cup, Juvenile Champ, to the ups and downs of the, getting to the Derby and the scratch, and not knowing, a horse that you love so much has an illness and you're not sure what it is, and it's scary. It's a scary situation. So just getting him to this point right now, I mean, I'm the happiest person in the world, and I was with him this morning. He's so happy. He's eating. His food comes in. He's just jumping around. He's just like he was when he was a 2-year-old. And I just, whether he wins ever again, races ever again, just the fact that he's healthy is just so, makes me so happy. After, breaking maidens of Stay Thirsty and Uncle Mo last year here, and those are two horses of a lifetime, and I'm excited about their races coming up. But to the next year have a horse like Overdriven, 100 buyer his first start. I don't know too many horses that have won 100 buyers their first start. Uncle Mo ran a 102, and Overdriven ran a 100. So I mean, how lucky and fortunate am I?
Who played Fred Sanford Steak, on Sanford and Sons?
Oh, that was, what was his name again?
Richard Pryor has a career because of him.
Red Fox.
Red Fox,
right.
Well done.
Yeah, but that's 35 years ago by now.
It still doesn't matter. It still counts. Sanford.
Right. You like him? He was funny.
Elizabeth, I'm going home. The show's over.
Black Rhino left behind in second. Power World third. On the outside is Jackson the Deck fourth. They're coming down to the finish. And there will be no upset in this Sanford. Overdriven wins by 4 emphatic lengths over Power World and Jackson the Deck.
Saratoga has been a launching pad for many future stars. In 2004, Saratoga racing fans were dazzled by a 2-year-old named Fleet Alex.
Fleet Alex bursting away to lead by 2.5 lengths.
The colt scampered to victory in stakes record time in the Grade 2 Sanford and returned later in the meet to capture the Grade 1 hopeful.
Zigzagging his way through the stretch at Saratoga.
That was just the beginning for the son of Northern Fleet, who was trained by Tim Ritchie and owned by Cash is King stable. Fleet Alex missed out on the 2-year-old championship that year when he came up less than a length short of winning the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
And it's Wilco in front, and he's going to pull off a huge upset here. He'll take $50 to win.
He began his 3-year-old campaign with a bang, winning the Mountain Valley Stakes at Oaklawn. He was later found to be sick after finishing last in the Rebel, but one start later, he was simply brilliant in capturing the Grade 2 Arkansas Derby by a record 8 lengths.
But Fleet Alex has kicked it into gear, one of the most impressive Arkansas Derby wins ever.
Fleet Alex had momentum and respect coming into the Kentucky Derby, but it was not to be. A late rush secured him 3rd place, with only a length denying him the coveted blanket of roses. Arguably, the Preakness was the race that defined Fleet Alex's career. With regular rider Jeremy Rose in the irons, the colt clipped heels at the top of the stretch.
And the Fleet Alex champion Rose almost fell out of the saddle.
And in an amazing display of athleticism on behalf of both horse and rider, Fleet Alex blew away his 13 rivals to win the 2nd leg of the Triple Crown.
And in dramatic style, Fleet Alex has won the Preakness by 5 lengths.
The Big Apple beckoned, and Ritchie ready to Fleet Alex for the challenging 1.5 mile Belmont Stakes with a bull at work 10 days before the race. Some media questioned the horse's stamina. They were silenced. Fleet Alex rocketed down the historic Belmont stretch, completing his final quarter in a snappy 24 2/5, the fastest final quarter since 1969, en route to a 7-length victory.
A compelling, outstanding performance by the plucky of Fleet Alex.
The Belmont would be his final start. He suffered a leg injury the following month. That fall, he was put back in training, but he never fully recovered from the injury, and his retirement was announced in December. Fleet Alex, the 2004 3-year-old champion, has transitioned into a tremendously successful sire. His first crop reached the races in 2008, and for one of his sons, Fleet Express, the apple didn't fall far from the tree.
Fleet Express and fly down. It's desperately close. It is too close to call. It is too close to call.
Number 7 of Fleet Express was the winner of the Travers.
When HRTV Rewind returns.
Seems like every time you go to Calder, you get a winner with this one.
Do you in your mind have a clear-cut 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 of the horses that are most impressive to you in Europe? And not only did you tie it up, but you got, at least for the record, your 1,000th career win.
You're watching HRTV Rewind.
Do you feel that it's an advantage or disadvantage for anyone in the race being a smaller field as opposed to larger ones we've seen in the past?
It's a very, very, very good question. There's not a horse in there that you think must have cover. And you'd imagine with the Boosie in the race that there'll be a decent enough pace. So I don't see it playing a huge part in the race. I mean, arguably, maybe Workforce might have wanted 1 or 2 to run behind, possibly, who can tell. But I don't see it playing a huge part in the race.
As far as horses like Frankel, who you mentioned, So You Think, the horses competing Saturday, do you in your mind have a clear-cut 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 of the horses that are most impressive to you in Europe?
Yes. I think So You Think is probably number 1. He was very, very impressive in the Eclipse. Things didn't necessarily fall for him exactly right in the Prince of Wales Stakes. He's an absolute superstar. Probably go on to win races like the John Monmouth International and possibly the Champion Stakes back here at Ascot in October. And I would say that Frankel and Camford Cliffs will be fighting out behind that in terms of pure quality surfing.
And it's Nathaniel for the 3-year-olds on the far side, hanging out Workforce towards the centre of the racecourse. Nathaniel is in front in the King George. St Nicholas Abbey is coming home strongly. Workforce hanging his chance away, but it's Nathaniel for William Buick and John Gosden that'll win a dramatic King George. Angels Will Fall has moved through on the far side to lead from Regal Realm. Then Miss Lahar inside the final 100 yards. It's Angels Will Fall who quickened up smartly. Has Regal Realm half a length down, and Angels Will Fall seeing it out well, remains unbeaten. Angels Will Fall beat Regal Realm. They enter the final furlong. Noble Citizen, Standside, Pravda Street and the Confessor, who's also been front rank. Castles in the Air staying on, and from a long way back, Bronze Prince is hurtling home on the near side. Noble Citizen, Bronze Prince continues to charge the Confessor, and Bronze Prince got up to win from the Confessor.
Well, you know, after the Sunshine Million at Gulfstream, we turned her out. And probably shouldn't have, but we did. And then we come back and we just had some, you know how you struggle, and we had some feet problems. She popped a splint, and so that cost us some more time. And then she got good. You know, after that we got good, and she come back, and I thought she ran a great race the day, her first start back with Amazing, and then I thought she ran a good race her second start.
David, you draw the outside. It's a compact field, not a guaranteed have to have the lead type, but it looks like there should be enough pace in front of you. Do you take the tactic of taking back, or do you think you're going to get involved?
Well, I don't think we'll be real involved because I kind of think White's filly and maybe Sano's filly will go out.
Trip for AJ, trying to find room down at the rail. It's Diosa Indian and Sweet Repent. These two now come together. Sweet Repent outside of Diosa Indian. Tesoro de Amor late on the scene. Sweet Repent wins again. Sweet Repent won the Nancy's Glitter.
I guess nobody's hotter than Jermaine Marlowe Bridgemahan?
No, we're talking about Jermaine because he's really showing himself in the month of July here at Arlington, and he also travels back and forth from Indiana as well. This past Saturday, we talked about on Wednesday that he won the Arlington Sprint 5.5 furlongs on the turf course here at Arlington, but a few days before that, he actually won the Indiana Distaff aboard Track and Jam. So he's been winning some stakes races and really showing himself. In both of those races, he actually beat his brother, Sean Bridgemahan, who is 9 years older than him. He kind of had time to reflect with our reporter Graham Ross about what it's like to ride against him, and really he's 9 years older, so Jermaine said he didn't really teach me anything, but it's fun to ride with him, and he didn't say he doesn't get any special feeling about beating Sean, but I think he does.
Toward the inside, Proceed B, Winchester on the outside, Free Fighter, and Tim Thornton, and the Stars and Stripes. Winchester got second on the line from Proceed B.
Now, Free Fighter has a history in this race. He won this race in 2009. He was third last year. Now he's back in the winner's circle for the Stars and Stripes, but different trainer this time. Turned out to be a nice claim for you, hasn't he?
Well, Frank bought him private in Florida.
Okay.
And it turned out all right. He ran a bad race, and he bought him, and he probably should have won the Illinois race, and I don't usually say that, but he couldn't get rode at the head of the stretch when he wanted to go. He had to wait a little bit, and that got him beat about a half a length.
Well, you had 3 horses entered going into, actually 3 races, 4 starters entered going into Sunday, and you needed 1 to tie it up, 2 to get that lead over Todd Pletcher. And not only did you tie it up, but you got, at least for the record, your 1,000th career win. What a huge day, and tell us how you felt coming out of that.
Actually, it was a great win for a lot of reasons. Obviously, my 1,000th win. Obviously, it was the last starter I had for the Belmont meet, and realistically, I thought she was the only horse that really had a chance to win on Sunday. So it was nice that we were able to get there and tie the meet with Todd Pletcher, get my 1,000th win, and then it happened to be with my father's horse, who I won my first career victory with my father's horse, and then my 1,000th was too. So that was fun. It's been, part of my family, my upbringing. My father trained horses for many, many years, and of course, that's how I got involved.
That's all for Rewind this week. Here's a look at what's coming up next week on HRTV.